Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her mean stepmother and two selfish stepsisters. They made Cinderella do all the hard work. She scrubbed the floors, cooked the meals, and cleaned the fireplace. Her face was always dusty from the cinders, which was why they called her Cinderella. Even though she was tired, she was always kind and gentle. One day, a letter arrived. It was an invitation to a grand ball at the king's palace. The prince wanted to find a bride. "We are going," the stepsisters shouted. "May I go too?" asked Cinderella. "You?" they laughed. "You have no dress. You must stay here and clean." Cinderella watched them leave and began to cry. Suddenly, the kitchen filled with a golden light. A lady with a magic wand appeared. "Don't cry, Cinderella," she said. "I am your fairy godmother." With a wave of her wand, bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, a pumpkin turned into a golden carriage. 6 mice turned into white horses. And Cinderella's rags turned into a shimmering blue gown with sparkling glass slippers. But remember, the fairy godmother warned. The magic ends at midnight. You must leave before the clock strikes 12. When Cinderella entered the ballroom, everyone stopped talking. She looked like a princess. The prince asked her to dance immediately. They danced and talked all night long. The prince thought she was the loveliest person he had ever met. Cinderella was so happy that she forgot the time. Dong, dong. The clock began to strike midnight. "I must go," Cinderella cried. She ran out of the palace so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers on the stairs. By the time she reached home, the carriage was a pumpkin again and her dress was back to rags. The next day, the prince traveled across the kingdom with the glass slipper. "I will marry the lady whose foot fits this shoe," he declared. The prince arrived at Cinderella's house. The two stepsisters tried to push their big feet into the tiny glass shoe. They pulled and they squeezed, but it did not fit. "May I try?" Cinderella asked quietly. The stepsisters laughed, but the prince said, "Everyone may try." Cinderella slipped her foot into the shoe. It fit perfectly. The prince looked into her eyes and recognized the beautiful girl from the ball. He took her back to the palace, and they were married. Cinderella was so kind that she even forgave her mean stepsisters. She lived happily ever after in a world of love and joy. The moral. Kindness is a superpower. Even when life is hard, staying good and patient will lead to a magical reward. Real beauty comes from a kind heart. The end.